You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Hello there, and welcome to episode 259 of the Rusted Robot Podcast for Sunday, September the 8th, 2019.
X-Ray Delta 1, this is Mission Control. Roger, you're 1930.
Just what do you think you're doing, Dave?
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
All right, I'll take a shot at it. What the hell, it works on Star Trek.
There's a fleet of Star Destroyers coming out of hyperspace in Sector 4.
Ship, abandon ship. All personnel proceed to escape pods. Close that surface.
Come quietly or there will be trouble.
I am the law.
Put down your weapon. You have 20 seconds to comply.
And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Hello, and welcome to another fantastic episode that you just can't wait to listen to, but you're going to have to because time is linear. I'm your host, Shawn, with me today. Oh, you anticipated me. Good job.
Well, you pointed at me first, then you continued.
We're out of practice. It's been
2 weeks.
Also, today's a drinking episode.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So who
Not
are you?
for all of us.
Who are you?
I'm Josh.
And what are you?
I am Kitty.
You're the kitty.
Did you ask what?
I might have. See, I guess because Josh said it was a drinking episode, we should explain right off the bat what's going on here. About 2 months ago, he decided to, what would you call it? Do an experiment?
Sort of. Okay, so next year, our friends Sarah and Shane, they've been on the podcast, are getting married.
They are.
And they, I thought as a good wedding gift, I would make for them, for their wedding, like a table wine.
Which is nice.
But Sarah really likes bees.
Bees?
Bees.
Like bees?
Yeah, like bees.
Okay.
Like make honey.
Yeah, not the letter B.
No, that would be weird.
That would be weird. Not spelling bees.
No, not spelling bees. Nobody likes spelling bees.
No, I don't think they do.
The English language is so screwed up, it's got a sport based off of whether or not you can spell properly.
Right. A sport. Anyway, she likes honeybees.
She likes bees. So I was like, I'll make her mead for her wedding.
What does mead have to do with bees?
Mead is alcohol
Fermented.
made honey.
Oh, yes.
So I started with the process of experimenting.
Right.
Because, you can't just, I'm going to make this and make it perfectly the first time.
No, because practice.
Right. So
it's made with honey.
it's made with honey.
And you're giving it to them for their wedding.
Yes.
Is this where the whole idea of honeymoon comes from?
Part of it, yes.
Ah, okay. I see where this is all coming from. Okay. So, right now, we just had a sampling of your first batch.
This is technically batch 2.
Batch 2.
But yes.
Okay.
Batch 2 was made alongside batch 1 with different
Ingredients?
different methods.
Methods.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this has a different feed stock than method 1.
And we started partaking in this thing before the recording so we could get a good base of what it tastes like so we could talk about it. You poured me a glass and
It is 20% alcohol.
Yes, it is. And I'm feeling
Oh yeah, it's rocket fuel.
It definitely is. It's very tasty. It kind of reminds me almost of like an apple juice, apple cider kind of thing. There's a little bit of a taste of that.
Okay.
That's what I found.
All right. I want to hear your opinion on it.
It's the first sip is like, oh, that's delicious, and then about 3 seconds later, it's like, oh, there's the alcohol. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty strong.
It's pretty strong.
Okay. So do you? If I said, "Hey, Shawn, come on over. We'll watch some sports ball and drink some mead," would you come on over?
First, I would ask you what sports are.
Yes.
And then I would say, mead? Okay, I'll come and try that.
Pretend we watched sports ball.
Yes. Yeah, I would. I would come over for this.
All right. Good.
Because I wouldn't be able to leave.
Well,
You
no.
definitely wouldn't be able to leave.
One glass is like four beers.
Yes, and I've had about a third of a glass, and it's strong stuff.
No, 20%.
That's half.
Well, then I've had half.
It's more than half because the glass gets narrow at the bottom.
Yeah, but it wasn't filled all the way to the top.
Well, it's pretty close.
I've had a lot in a short amount of time.
Probably too much.
Probably.
Because my face is feeling hot.
It is also red.
I don't doubt it.
You're not allergic to like.
Do you have any
raisins
allergies?
or
I'm not
anything
allergic to anything
that you know of.
that I know of.
So for this one, in a 1 gallon carboy, which is the container you use to brew it, I put 3 pounds of honey.
3 pounds of honey.
spring water to fill it up to about halfway.
Okay.
Shake the hell out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Then add yeast to it, right, that I've rehydrated in a cup. And then filled the rest up with water all the way up to the neck.
Mm-hmm.
And I let it sit for 2 months.
Yes, because we talked about this way back in July sometime. Maybe even June we were talking about it.
For a feed, which is to make the yeast have food, because you can't just give them sugar, they need other things to make their bodies.
Is that right?
So I boiled a cup of tea, some orange peels, not the oranges, but the peels in the cup of tea, and some raisins. And I poured the liquid into the carboy, and I let that sit.
Okay.
And that's what we're drinking right now.
And it's very tasty, and it's very strong.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So this episode may not be completely 100% coherent.
Probably not.
And that's okay.
Would you like to know where the origin of honeymoon came from?
Why don't you enlighten us, Kitty?
Okay. So, you know how marriages were often intended to produce children? That was often the intent of them in the first place, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Or to forge alliances?
Yeah, but usually...
Generally do that by combining bloodlines.
Yeah, and then both bloodlines would exist within that heir.
Yes.
And then that heir
represents the bonding of the two families.
Yes.
Of course.
So, I don't know if you know this, but honey lowers the acidity level in a lady's body and makes them more fertile.
I did not know that.
Okay. Well, that is a thing that you know now, and drinking like a glass of mead every day for 1 month would make a lady more fertile and more likely to conceive.
Oh, I see. Therefore, honeymoon and a month is a phase of the moon. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it is a time for romance.
Okay. That is very interesting. I did not know that.
Now you all know that.
Yes. Well,
history and science.
Well, you know what? Since we have been experimenting with beverages, I experimented with a beverage before I came over to record, because last week I went down to Atlanta, Georgia for DragonCon 2019, which you can hear all about on episode 117 of the Soul Forge podcast. So that's a supplemental episode to this episode here, because I'm talking about it. I don't want to talk all about DragonCon here. But
you don't want to talk about the nerd thing you went to on your nerd show?
Oh, I will. But first, before we get to there, I don't want to say too much, because it's a 25-minute episode over on SoulForge. In Atlanta, and down south in general, a big thing there is sweet tea. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know this, because I went to the restaurant and I asked for some iced tea, and the lady said, "Do you want it sweetened or unsweetened?" And of course, I'm going to go for the sweetened. And it was the best drink I ever had in my entire life. And that's all I had for the about a week that I was there down in Atlanta.
Is it just iced tea with more sugar?
Well, what they would do is they brew tea.
Okay.
And then they put sugar into it until it's saturated, and then they add more water to it, and then they chill it. And it's just the best
So it's
drink.
just iced tea with more sugar.
Kinda. But it's so delicious. Well, however they make it down there, I like, So I made some before I came over here. It's not quite the same. That was only my first batch, but I'm going to do some experimentation. And I'm going to have some sweet tea on hand at all times, because it is amazing. Yes.
You're going to start calling every pop Coke?
No, I don't think so.
Because that's another thing that comes from the South.
Soda.
And they call them Coke. All pops in some regions of the States, they refer to all of them as Coke.
I didn't come across anything like that.
No.
But
it depends on what region. I don't know exactly what region.
I don't know either.
I think that might be the
It'd
Southwest.
be a bad idea to call all pop Coke, or even just, like, here, a lot of people will say Coke, but only when being asked, what would you like to drink?
But I'll tell you, if you haven't been to Georgia and you haven't had sweet tea, you don't know what you're missing. And it made me think, okay, so I've never been to Georgia. I never knew anything about sweet tea, but it's my new favorite drink. How many other new favorite drinks could there possibly be out in the universe that I just don't know about because I haven't been to those areas? I haven't done enough travel.
Quite possibly very many.
Like, there could be so many things that I'm missing out on.
Yes, that is why we travel, to experience new things.
Yes, and I'll tell you, the people down south are amazingly friendly. They say Canadians are friendly. We're not.
Yeah, we are.
No, not compared to the people down in the southern states.
No, we are.
No. Were you down in the southern states with me? I don't think you were.
Well,
you don't know.
You gotta go to Nova Scotia is the thing.
Well, that's not a southern state. That's
No. She's saying that as Canadians.
As Canadians.
You're used to being in the middle of the shield, where people are embittered and
rude.
Not really. It's mostly just like a here thing. We have a lot of negative Nancys here.
Maybe it's a Timmins thing.
And then, like, even in Toronto, there's a lot of nice people in Toronto.
They're very friendly. Well, it's the center of the shield that is...
Maybe that's what it is.
Because we're so far from anything, we're just embittered.
Right. But anyway, my experience down in Atlanta, amazing. DragonCon was awesome. I got to meet Robert J. Sawyer in person, shake his hand, take a picture with him.
Hi, my name's Robert J. Sawyer. I'm an award-winning science fiction writer, and you're listening to the Rusted Robot Podcast. Don't forget to follow them on Twitter.
That was cool. I got to meet Jarman finally in real life, in person.
Cool.
And we recorded something for episode 117 of Soul Forge. I met the Mikes from the ESO network and a bunch of the other podcast hosts, because it was about half of the podcast there at DragonCon.
And you didn't get a big ESO, everybody together on one podcast thing?
They did. They recorded it Sunday night, but we left Sunday morning because it took 2 days to drive back. So next time, I will fly, or I'll take 2 weeks off and spend 4 days driving there and 4 days driving back.
We're recorded on the Saturday, Shawn.
It wasn't my thing.
Or you could fly.
I might just have to fly the next time. But
it costs almost the same.
Not quite as much. Or, yeah, flying costs more.
It depends on how many people you're bringing.
Right. True enough.
If you're just one person driving there, it's very comparable to just flying one person
Particularly once you take into account time.
Yeah.
It took a full 2 days. About 22 hours of driving. But it was a good time. I started it out by going to Mattawa and going to Frank and Martha's wedding, which was awesome. They had a beautiful ceremony. Frank wore a kilt. And Mattawa is pretty rural, so the stars were beautiful. I got to see the Milky Way. It was awesome. And Georgia Sweet Tea. I highly recommend it.
Okay. So, what all did you do down at DragonCon?
I went to so many different panels. I got to see George Takei live in person.
Ooh, sweet.
And his moderator was Garrett Wong, Ensign Harry Kim himself.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, I love him.
They were very funny.
I love both of them.
I got to see the Robert J. Sawyer panel, and he was with a bunch of other famous sci-fi authors like Jim Butcher and other people I can't remember at this time.
Jim Butcher?
Yeah.
I love Jim
Did
Butcher.
you get anything signed for Josh?
I didn't get anything signed.
I love the Dresden Files, and I've mentioned this to you many times.
I saw Paul Blackthorne speaking to the Dresden Files. He's Quentin Lance from the Arrowverse. Apparently he was on the Dresden Files.
Yeah, but...
That's the Dresden Files TV show.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the book series.
Oh, I don't know anything about that.
Josh even has, like, the RPG, tabletop RPG.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's super into Jim Butcher.
I highly recommend the audiobooks.
Yeah.
They're read by James Marsters.
Okay.
They're fantastic.
James Marsters was Spike from Buffy.
They're a fantastic audiobook. I have all of them on my phone right now.
Oh, nice. Well, he was there, and I got to see him. He's pretty funny.
You look so upset. You're like, I wish I'd have met him.
But yeah, I got to see Quentin Lance from the Arrowverse, and the guy who played Roy Harper, and the guy who plays Steele from Legends, and two other ladies who I don't really know who they are because I've stopped watching those shows. And
Julie and I call them time bunglers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And it's so great because we keep forgetting like the actual name of the show. And when we call them time bunglers, the people who watch the show know what we're talking about. They're like, oh, you mean Legends of Tomorrow? And we're like, yes, and it's great that you knew what that was from Time Bunglers.
Right. Oh, I got to see Carl Urban at his panel for The Boys. He's funny, and he swears a lot. He's awesome. Lots of pictures that I took. They're all on my Facebook in the album called DragonCon 2019 Road Trip.
Okay, I'll never see those.
You probably won't, but Kitty will show you, because we're Facebook friends, aren't we, Kitty?
Yeah.
Yes, we are. And you can also listen to episode 117 of Soul Forge podcast, because it's all right there.
Probably won't.
Well, you should, though. And our listeners should, too.
You can tell which friend of Shawn I am, because I'm the one that shares the podcasts.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it.
The one.
The one. Yeah, you're pretty much the one. Yeah.
I don't manage to share all of them, though, because sometimes it pops up at weird times.
Well, yeah, Facebook algorithms are weird.
They're weird.
So there's 2 new podcasts here on the ESO network.
Oh, cool.
We have Thunder Talk.
Where comedy and commentary collide.
Thunder Talk brings a unique variety show style twist
to the fandom podcast genre.
We drop music from some of today's hottest up-and-coming artists.
We discuss topics of social and political relevance.
And deliver our sideways take on the world at large.
If stand-up comedy,
NPR,
the Millennium Falcon,
and classic MTV had a baby,
it would be Thunder Talk.
Thunder Talk is part of the ESO network. Find us at thundertalk.org and on all podcasting platforms.
and we have Double-Edged Double Bill.
Hey, Adam Thomas.
Yes, Thomas Mariani?
You know how there are podcasts about bad movies?
Yeah.
And also podcasts about good movies?
Yeah.
Well, what if a podcast could cover both?
What?
Listen to Double-Edged Double Bill, where a random selected yin and yang of a double feature is picked and then picked apart.
Now, who came up with this wacky idea?
Adam, we did. That's our show.
I'm learning something new every day.
Listen to us on the ESO Network and wherever podcasts are available.
Okay, what's Double-Edged Double Bill?
I don't know what any of them are about, because I haven't had a time to stop or listen to anything since I've been back, because I got back Monday night at 9 o'clock, and I had to work Tuesday morning at 7:30. And it's been go ever since. Tuesday, the day I got back from work, was my 43rd birthday, and the bad
Your
thing...
first day back at work was your birthday?
Yes, and I had to work overtime because there were so many flyers.
I see you planned out your holidays well.
I did not, but long story short, I don't know what I was going to say, because this alcohol is making my face hot, and my thought of trains derailing...
Your thought of trains derailing?
Like an Amtrak train. But anyway, I'm tired. I haven't stopped. I got back just before I had to go back to work. I turned 43. The last day of 42 was spent 12 hours of driving in the car. I did not get the knowledge of the universe and everything in life downloaded into my brain like I thought I might. It's very sad. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy was incorrect.
It didn't tell you once you hit 42, that's when you'll learn everything. It just said the answer was 42.
And I was hoping that since I was 42, I would get all the answers, but I didn't.
Well, you're not Highlander.
But my mom is older than 42, and she doesn't have any of the answers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's just that 42 is the answer. Somebody
Right.
says, what's the answer to this? You say 42.
Of course. And speaking of your mom, she is on my mail route.
Yes.
But...
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Guess what's going to happen? Next week, all the routes have changed. We're all different mailmen for different routes now. I'm going to be your guys' mailman.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yep.
What should I subscribe to so Shawn has to carry it?
I don't know, but you're going to get a heck of a lot of flyers. Ooh.
You can just toss them in our recycling bin.
I can't, but you can.
No, he's not allowed, yeah.
I need my job, even though I hate it.
If I put a little sign that says "Flyers in here, please," can you put them in then?
That might be a possibility.
I'll make this.
Okay.
I'll put that on my thing for you.
Yeah. All right, that works.
Red Dot program. Please put fires in here.
Mm-hmm. So that's what I've been doing for the last 2 weeks. What have you guys been up to?
Not a hell of a lot.
Well, Josh has been mead making. We both were digging in our trench in the yard.
Very good.
We could use some help if you want to do like 1 day of digging.
That does sound like a blast.
It's better than driving to and from Georgia.
I don't know. I got to drive 120 kilometers an hour.
I don't like driving. I'd rather dig.
Well, I did learn that I do not want to be a long-haul truck driver because I don't like it that much.
Well, I don't want to be a trench digger for my life.
No, I don't think you do. Hey, so that was cool. And I got to meet the geek people and see them and all the ESO guys. What are you doing? Are you breaking your chair?
Breaking the chair. Yep.
Oh,
yep.
breaking
It
the
just
chair.
came apart.
Well, you did say you needed a new dining room set.
The table's still in good shape.
Yeah, we just need new chairs.
It's just hard to find chairs sans table.
Right. For you non-French people, sans means without.
Yeah. Oh, well, it means no. Chairs, no table.
Okay, well, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not French either, so...
It technically means without.
Yeah, because with...
Yeah, without, yeah, that's
with
right.
is a vec. Yeah. I knew that because I read that on the shampoo bottle when I was a kid.
Yeah, but they are unrelated words.
Yeah, they are totally not related.
Unlike in English, where it's with and without.
Yeah, one's sans and one's a vec.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, should we talk about some geek stuff since we're about 20 minutes into the show?
Geeky.
Etymology is a very geeky subject.
It is.
Tolkien. All of the Lord of the Rings came from somebody who is picky about language.
And you can't say that's not geeky. Because it led to the single geekiest of crafts, LARPing.
Did you guys read the ridiculous thing about how Viggo, who was Aragorn, actually is basically Aragorn?
In real life?
Mm-hmm.
For a second there when you said Viggo, I thought the Carpathian.
Yes, yes, he's Aragorn. Don't know if you knew that. It's gonna steal your baby.
Oh, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Viggo the Carpathian.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a big angry painting that wants your baby and is also goop in the sewer.
What?
Yeah.
Ghostbusters 2, man. Viggo the Carpathian.
Yes, Ghostbusters 2. I should have known. Right on. So,
Anyways.
I expect a really cool present in the mailbox at Christmas because I'm your mailman.
Okay. It's going to be a bottle of mead.
That's okay. This is really good stuff, and it's making my face really hot.
You still got a third of the glass, man.
Yeah, I know.
That's going to be the title of this episode. My face is hot, guys.
No, I don't think it is. But maybe.
Yeah?
Yes. So, before we get into the really geek stuff, do you know Mike from Twitter, also known as Jarrk? Jarrak?
No.
You don't?
Because Twitter is a
social media platform that you do not subscribe to.
Well, technically I do. I have one that I created for gaming purposes.
But you never use, I know.
I have one follower.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened.
Well, Mike...
It's probably a bot.
Mike is the guy...
a very persistent bot.
Mike is the guy we talked about a while back. He was the one who gave us a PayPal donation there about a month ago.
Oh, sweet. Yes, I remember.
Mm-hmm. And he does the Gatecast, all the Stargate stuff.
Yes.
Well, he responded to the last episode that we put out, which was Shawn's top 10 sci-fi movies.
Yes, where the value of the episodes is X plus 1, where X is the previous episode count.
Exactly.
Yes.
So he said, "Hi, Shawn. Enjoying the podcast as always, and have here a little audio feedback with my top 10 sci-fi movies pre-1980. All the best, Mike." So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and play his top 10 movies from before 1980 right here.
Greetings, Rusties. Mike from across the pond with my top 10 favourite sci-fi movies, albeit only those before 1980, because I've been around a little longer than our good host, and well, these deserve a mention, being in the shadow of some of the awesome movies that came later. So, in no particular order, The Thing from Another World, classic old-school sci-fi movie, as a remote and isolated research facility in the Arctic finds a crashed spaceship in the ice. They accidentally destroy it, but retrieve a frozen corpse, which unfortunately for them, thaws out and goes on a rampage. A great movie, good cast, and some fantastic fire stunt work. And unlike many movies of the era, the lone woman wasn't the weak, save me, caricature. Them. Atomic radiation creates giant ants which run amok in New Mexico and terrorise the world, while a brilliant but slightly dippy scientist, his daughter, and a brave, heroic FBI agent work to save the day. One of my earliest memories is watching this movie as a young kid at a neighbour's house. The special effects puppets are exceptional, and the cry of the young girl will haunt you for the rest of your days. Forbidden Planet. A colony on Altair 4 is visited by the space cruiser C-57D, which finds only 2 people alive on the world, but mysteries await, as well as romance, robots, the gorgeous Leslie Nielsen and Anne Francis playing it straight. I might have got them mixed up there, you know. Well, what can I say? One of the cornerstones of modern mainstream sci-fi, even though itself is based on literature from centuries before. Great effects and stunning music SFX, as well as a well-written, believable narrative. Star Wars. Well, it does come in under my self-imposed limits, and you cannot have a list that does not feature at least one movie from the franchise. Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. The Van Allen radiation belt is aflame and time is ticking down to the extinction of most of life on Earth. One man with the most advanced technology on the planet believes he can save the world, but the rest of the world is not quite so sure. While not space-based, this was pure science fiction, and drawing on the real world to a large degree, which makes the movie as good as it was. Beautiful ship design, a stellar cast, and the whole world in peril and solved by science. The TV series was also for a while the de facto must-watch as a kid, more so than Star Trek. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Aliens make contact, and thus a government cover-up is rolled out, but individuals across the world have been called, and some will make it to the rendezvous point and find answers, and yet more questions. What a beautiful movie. To this day, it's still an epic, and the visual effects still hold up, probably because they really didn't try to blow your mind with the fast action spectacular. The more measured approach worked so well to generate the awe, curiosity, and satisfaction. Watched the movie for the first time at the cinema when the Star Wars queue was too long. Never regretted that decision. Alien. A long-haul deep space freighter investigates a signal from an empty world. The crew awake from cryosleep to face a much shorter future, be it from what they find on the derelict alien spaceship, or the corporate greed which is willing to sacrifice them all. A masterpiece in set design, tension building, and simple but highly effective storytelling. The War of the Worlds. The 1951 version of the classic novel is based in California as capsules from Mars crash into the surrounding landscape. They open to reveal massive machines with incredibly sounding death rays. As the might of the US military falls to the Martians, chaos erupts. Will anything save mankind? I've never read the original novel, but its slice of US sci-fi cinema gives it a more mainstream audience spin and offers a very entertaining version. And gotta say, the Martian ships are magnificent. The Blob. An alien meteorite lands in backwater USA, only to break up, releasing a viscous-like material, which soon encapsulates a woodsman. It creeps, it leaps, it glides, it slides around a small town, consuming pretty much anything it wants, including making a visit to the local cinema, which is so meta it defies belief. But a great scene. The movie stars Steve McQueen, who hadn't quite yet become the star he would, but is head and shoulders above the rest of the cast in this wonderful classic sci-fi movie. And finally, The Day the Earth Stood Still. The galactic powers see Earth and its atomic weapons as a threat to peace in the region. Mankind cannot be allowed to bring its violent nature into space, so a visitor, Klaatu, is sent to explain the situation. That being, if we cause any trouble, then the ultimate deterrent created to enforce the peace will be unleashed on our world. Gort and his fellow constructs have the power and the right to enforce peace through extreme violence. The message is clear: join the galactic community in a peaceful and constructive manner, or reap the whirlwind. What a great movie. Always like the idea that when we get into space, we discover the galaxy has been watching and waiting, maybe with arms or whatever, extended in friendship. But this is also a good fish out of water movie, with a good cast and crisp, concise dialogue. Right, that was my top 10. Many more movies could have been included, like Dark Star, Logan's Run, and of course 2001. But ain't it grand, there have been so many great sci-fi movies. Thanks for listening. Take care, guys. I love the podcast.
Every one of you listening to my voice, tell the world. Tell this to everybody wherever they are. Watch the skies, everywhere. Keep looking. Keep watching the skies.
And of course, we always appreciate feedback from our listeners. We don't get a lot. Ever since Sparky and Guns disappeared on us, the feedback has dried up quite a bit.
I miss Sparky and Guns.
I'm not going to pretend to be Shawn and say that, oh, yes, we listened to that and it was fantastic.
I did.
You did.
Yes.
But I do not know what he said for his top 10.
That's right, because you're the talent, and you get to listen to this later.
Yes. Now I have to listen to the episode and get to the 21-minute mark and get to the point where I go, okay, so what was said? Okay.
That's exactly right. And Mike is one of our British listeners.
Okay.
So
yes.
I'd also like to take
a fair number of those.
We do. And I'm taking this time to thank Paul and Dan for doing episode 257 for us, the extended UK correspondent spot.
That was very good. I enjoyed that.
Right? I thought you might.
I was a bit insulted that I didn't think I'd come to England too when you went.
Yeah.
But, it's fine. It's fine.
It's okay.
I didn't feel left out or anything.
Well, that's good.
I didn't sit in my office and cry.
I didn't even know you had emotions.
I have emotions. I just, mostly outsource them.
Okay. That makes sense.
To me.
But definitely appreciate all of our listeners, all of our feedback, all the help we get from people. It's awesome.
Okay.
Where do we go from here, Josh?
Probably on to trailers.
That is a fantastic idea. Let's play the trailer for Terminator Dark Fate right here.
Talk. Talk fast.
You first.
My name is Sarah Connor. August 29, 1997. It was supposed to be Judgment Day. But I changed the future. Saved 3 billion lives. Enough of a resume for you?
No. You may have changed the future, but you didn't change our fate. I know you're scared, but I'm here to protect you.
Never seen one like you before. Almost human.
I am human, just enhanced. Why do you care what happens to her?
Because I was her.
Sarah!
I can see you're very upset. I'm going to help you protect the girl.
Nobody gonna die because of me. If you don't make it, everybody dies.
Expect a big pain, brother. The whole body's a weapon. Sorry.
When this is all over, I am going to kill you.
I understand.
I'll be back.
As we were watching that, Katie said, that Linda Hamilton, she's still pretty hot.
Yeah, she's hot, and she doesn't really look that different from how she looked in the first Terminator. Like, I know she looks different. She has, like, shorter, lighter hair.
Yeah, but that's just hair.
It's just hair. The rest of her looks basically the same.
She looks in pretty good shape for somebody of her age.
35 years later.
And she still has a good face. And oh my god, it was so nice hearing her voice again. She just sounds awesome and badass. She's gonna kill the bad guys and win life.
So, I'm not super excited about this trailer.
Because it's hard to say exactly what's going on for real.
Yeah, and the last couple Terminator movies have not been...
what you would say good?
Good, yes.
Right.
That's the word.
Well, they're ignoring 3, 4, and 5.
Sorta.
Kinda. So
you can't ignore 4.
Well, you could.
Because 4 takes place in the future.
Yeah, but you can ignore it. And this is like a sequel to Episode 2. I know it's not called Episode 2. It was called Judgment Day, Terminator 2. But this is like Episode 3.
Yeah. So, that's fine. I'm not excited about it. They have not earned the right for automatic excitement.
Directed by Tim Miller, the director of Deadpool.
Okay. He did a good job there.
Produced by James Cameron. The
production means nothing. That's
he gave us show notes probably.
Sure.
Or whatever producers do.
Yeah, sure.
They produce things, I suppose.
Mostly get the money and organize it.
Yeah.
Producers are important in the process of making movies.
Indeed.
They are not important to the movie's content as much.
No, but James Cameron, I think, takes a more hands-on approach, but since he's been directing the Avatar sequels, he couldn't direct this one as well. So, we'll see what happens. I'm going to go see it in the theater.
I know you've checked out all of them, haven't you?
I don't think I saw 1 and 2 in the theater.
Well, no, you were too young for 1.
Number 3, I can't remember.
I think you did. I think you said you saw it in theaters.
I may have. Sounds like something I would do. I know I saw Genesis in the theater, and I must have seen Salvation in the theater too, because that seems like something I would do. I just don't have specific memories of that. This one, when it comes out November 1st, I will be there.
Okay. Well, then you can tell us how it is.
I certainly
I
will.
want to watch it. It looks good.
Well, we might go then, if you want to go.
I'd like to go. I like Terminator.
I enjoy 1 and 2, and 4 was okay.
I know. I really like Linda Hamilton, and I like...
5 wasn't good, and
I like
3
Arnie.
was terrible.
Also, I saw a guy who looked a lot like, I can't remember what his name is, Agent Doggett.
Okay, yeah. The guy from Terminator 2, the T-1000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a guy who looked a lot like him, but there's no way that's still him.
Robert
unless
Patrick?
he actually doesn't age like some kind of robot.
He ages, but the T-1000 could fake aging easily.
I didn't see any Terminator cosplay at DragonCon.
How would you know? They look just like us.
Oh, true enough.
Did you see any particularly buff men walking around?
I tried not to.
Or any ladies in reddish patent leather suits?
There were a lot of guys in kilts.
Really?
Yes, a ton of guys in kilts.
Is there a particular reason? Because I'm not familiar with anything right now that is...
Utility-kilts, they're called, apparently. And they
Oh
have
yeah,
lots of
utility
pockets.
kilts. It's just...
Okay.
It's not a costume, it's just a thing that people wear to be cool. Because it was like 38 degrees Celsius there. It was hot.
They're breezy and they have a lot of pockets.
Yeah. And
I know what you're talking about now. Just when you were saying at DragonCon, I was like, I cannot place a kilt with a character.
There were a lot of shirtless dudes there.
Sure, yeah.
With glitter on themselves.
McLeod.
A lot of anime characters that I didn't recognize, and a very impressive Kosh cosplay from Babylon 5.
Oh yes, we saw that. I showed it to you.
You did.
Yes.
You got to see it.
I saw that. It was a very impressive Kosh.
It was very good. Yeah, I was just
very
saying,
nice encounter suit.
Yeah, I was just saying, you know what? There's no Babylon 5 guys here. And then about 2 hours later, there he was. So it was pretty awesome.
Unfortunately, he didn't go as Kosh instead of Kosh.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Very sad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How do you be a glowing ball that nobody ever really sees?
No, they're all named Kosh.
Oh.
Yeah.
All the Vorlons are named Kosh.
I did buy a Kosh action figure.
Did you?
I did.
Sweet.
Yeah.
What size?
Well, just for standard action figure size.
They're
I think
size.
it's 6 inches.
Okay.
I think that's what it was.
Alright.
Yeah. Because it was there. There was a lot of things to buy.
Cool.
I didn't spend a lot of money. I was impressed with myself.
Well, you have to lug it all back with you.
Well, that's true. So yeah, that's Terminator Dark Fate. Definitely be there in November.
All right.
It's September right now, right?
Yes.
There's 2 movies coming out on the 20th that we have to watch. We have Rambo: Last Blood.
Yeah.
And we have Ad Astra, the astronaut movie with Brad Pitt, which we played the trailer for previously.
The Ad Astra one was eh.
Yeah, it might be alright.
It looked okay, but not stellar.
Yeah. Yeah, I got what you did there.
But no. And then Rambo. I didn't go see the last one in theaters.
No, I rented it, I think.
No.
Because it came out in 2008. You could still rent movies back then.
No, I just watched it online.
I'm not an online kind of guy.
Yeah, but I didn't. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
It doesn't have the impact of the first movie. Like, that series has been just going downhill the entire time.
Most series do go downhill.
Yeah, Terminator goes up.
Does it?
Terminator is not as good as Terminator 2. Terminator 2 is a much better film.
Oh, yeah, by far. But then you have 3, 4, and 5, which aren't great.
I didn't say they continue to go up. I said,
oh, I see.
It went up.
Right.
Sometimes you get a better sequel.
Yeah, it's rare, but it happens.
It's not even that rare. You get quite a few good sequels because you got the foundation from the first movie.
Mm-hmm,
Miniseries was amazing. Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Yeah,
you loved it. I loved it. It was great.
Yeah.
You know that Brian Austin Green from 90210 was in Terminator Chronicles? Or Sarah Connor or whatever?
Sarah Connor
Chronicles?
There you go.
Brian Austin Green was in that.
Okay.
Did you ever watch Beverly Hills 90210?
No, we did not.
Did you know they've done a reboot?
No.
Nope.
Or a continuation?
No.
Well, I started watching it because I was big into 90210 when I was a teenager for some reason. And it's not very good. What it is they're all playing themselves and they're trying to make a new series of 90210, playing their characters from the show, but they're playing themselves, playing the characters. So it's very meta.
Okay. I'm not going to dignify that with a response because that show was not anything that I was anywhere interested in.
Okay.
I am going to harp on you.
You are?
I am, because I watched 2 more episodes of the Katie Sackhoff Space Another Life.
Yeah? And you loved it?
No, it is absolutely terrible. I do not understand how you can say in any way that it is good.
I went to a panel at DragonCon for Another Life, people talking about it, and they all said, yeah, it's pretty bad, but we all friggin' love it.
See, no, you said it was fantastic.
And I did. I loved it. It was awesome. It was awesomely bad.
Wait, is that like how Slither is bad and I like that? Or like how Sharknado is bad?
I asked Shawn initially if that was the case. Like, it's so bad that you like it because it's bad. And he said, no, it's fantastic.
I did. I really like the story.
The story is inherently terrible.
But it's so good.
It is nowhere near good in any way.
Is this like how we couldn't get past like the constant bad sci-fi?
No, it is. So, the bad
Robinsons?
science of Another Life is bad. But it's not that bad when it comes to sci-fi shows. It's got the gimmies, and the gimmies are pretty consistent initially.
Okay.
So that didn't really hurt me. So my normal gripe of bad science and science fiction isn't the thing that got me. It is the terrible writing, terrible casting,
how about the acting?
terrible
That's bad too.
acting, and the terrible direction, and the terrible set direction, and the terrible special effects.
The only thing that was good about it was Katie Sackhoff, because you like her.
She wasn't even that good. No, but it was so much fun. I couldn't stop watching. I watched the whole 10 episodes in 2 days. It's bad. It's horrible, but I loved it.
It doesn't make sense.
No, and it's just one disaster after another. They're all bad choices. But
And
I couldn't stop watching it.
Okay, so the 3-month journey that they had to take initially, right?
Yeah.
They took a month to get to the nebula, right?
I think
but,
so.
But then things go wrong,
as they do every episode,
right? And they go on this big side quest stuff, and they get back to the nebula after 2 months.
Okay,
right?
I don't remember.
And then they go through the nebula, and it only takes them a week to go through the nebula, and they're at their destination.
Okay.
Which should have taken an additional 6 months.
Yeah.
So in a month and a week, they traveled 7-8 months of distance.
Space is weird and vast.
Yeah, it's weird and vast. Not it mysteriously shrinks in the middle for no reason.
Dark matter, Josh, explains everything.
Explains nothing because it already stated in the show, because of the dark matter, it's going to take them longer to go through.
We're just going to take a shortcut through this plot hole.
No,
we'll get there real fast.
No, see, that's just bad writing.
I loved it.
It was bad, Shawn. You cannot. You tried to leave the listeners with the impression that it was good, and it is not. I have to wave everybody away. Just go. I was like, okay, maybe. I gave it too few episodes.
So how many did you watch?
I watched 5 episodes in total. Shawn.
Oh, you're halfway through. You gotta finish.
I am not finishing that show. It was bad, and then I went online, and I was like, am I just wrong? Am I just wrong?
Nobody likes it.
Nobody likes it, Shawn.
I know.
Everybody's like, no, bad. I watched a 2-hour thing, which is like 2 more episodes, on a breakdown of why the show is bad. Not on a science aspect, not on a character development thing, simply on plot.
I sat through an hour-long panel about people talking about how much they loved it, but it was horrible.
Why did they have a panel about it?
There was panels about everything at DragonCon.
I know, but why did they have a panel about something that everybody hated? And everybody went there and talked about how they loved it, but it was bad.
Because nobody can wait for season 2, because we all want to see what happens.
No, Shawn! This is what's wrong with people these days. They go to see garbage, and they watch the garbage all the way through, and then the producers go, well, our show was really popular, let's make another season instead of making something good.
Well, speaking of people you hate and shows you can't stand, the Star Trek Discovery panel. I got to sit through that.
I'm out of booze, so...
You can finish mine.
No, you gotta finish yours.
I got to see Anson Mount. He played Captain Pike in season 2.
Okay.
He's awesome in Hell on Wheels. I love that guy.
Sure. I'm not on his career.
Yeah.
Everybody can make a bad choice now and then.
Shazad Latif was there. He played Vok or Tyler.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, Mary Chieffo was there. She played Laurel.
Don't know who that is.
Klingon lady. And there was somebody else who was there, which I can't... Oh, the guy who played Spock. Emily Coote.
I know who Spock is.
Okay.
Because he's from a good show.
Ethan Peck. But
I don't know who that is.
That's Gregory Peck's grandson. He played Spock in season 2 of Discovery. Emily Coote, who played Lieutenant Detmer, was supposed to be there, but she wasn't. And that's why I went to the panel, because she's a hot redhead, but she wasn't there. It was very sad.
Okay, well, first of all, you shouldn't objectify people like that, Shawn.
It's just a description of who she is as a person. She's a hot redhead.
Yeah, but that's why you went to the panel?
Well, no, because I wanted to see Anson Mount, because he plays Bohannon on
There
Hell
you
on
go.
Wheels.
You have to phrase it that way.
Seeing the hot redhead was just a side bonus.
Yeah, that's somewhat acceptable. But you can't say I went to the panel because there's a hot redhead.
Because you can find hot redheads everywhere.
And there were a lot at DragonCon. Quite a few.
You should drink less alcohol.
It's truth serum, Kitty. It's truth serum. Hey, did you know that Matrix Episode 4 has been confirmed with Keanu Reeves and what's her name? Trinity. I can't remember the actress right now.
Okay.
And the Wachowski brothers, or sisters, or...
Sisters.
Sisters now, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because they have both transitioned.
Lana is, I think.
One of them is coming back.
One of them is coming back to direct, and half the cast, I guess.
Okay. So, all right. They are not good.
What's that?
Matrix, fantastic.
Yes.
Matrix Reloaded,
not so good. And the Revolutions?
Yeah.
So they're coming back for a fourth one. All these years later.
They got one movie to fix things,
mm-hmm.
and maybe they can fix things. Maybe they can fix the problem with humans are batteries, because that never made sense. And the reason Neo can do magic outside of the Matrix is What?
It's still the Matrix.
Another layer of the Matrix? Another layer of control?
Layers within layers, like onions?
Yeah. Was the first Matrix that we were in not the only Matrix? Are they actually good guys, the machines, and they're keeping humanity alive by bringing them through space on a spaceship, and you find out in the end that they have to keep the same humans alive, and they just keep their brains in suspended animation? And that's why we keep seeing the same Neo going through the same things?
I don't know. We haven't really
See,
seen
you can do a lot of things with this.
Yes.
But, wow, that is too strong of alcohol.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Good job.
Yes. So, like, yeah, can we get some, like, clarification? Or is this just going to be another, ooh, magic finger wave?
I guess we have to wait and see until it comes out in theaters.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the theory where people are saying that John Wick is just another reiteration of Neo in another form of the Matrix?
That makes sense.
You know what?
They pointed out a bunch of things, like where there's people in the background doing things like they're extras, like they're not really
They're NPC characters in the background?
It's pretty great. I kind of really like that theory. Although I like John Wick on its own anyway, but I also kind of like the theory of him being just another, like, this Neo is John Wick, and this is his other Matrix, where he's basically still the chosen one, who is able to do things that he shouldn't be able to do.
Because both characters
So,
are in black.
are we saying that Keanu Reeves, all of his movies could be variants of the Matrix where they're testing the Keanu Reeves?
Well,
wouldn't that be great?
Bill and Ted Face the Music comes out next year. We can find out. Mm-hmm. And actually, since you brought that up, I've been rolling around with this theory in my head that if you're a badass action star, your first name has to be John. We got John Wick. We got John Connor. We got John Rambo. We got John McClane. And I think there's another one that I can't remember right now. But if your first name is John, you get to be an action star.
Okay, well, hold.
Yeah.
John Wick is... Okay, he's an action star.
Yeah.
John Rambo's not really an action star in his first movie.
Well, he does some action.
No, that... Rambo First Blood is not an action film.
Isn't it a drama?
That's a psychological drama.
It is. But as he goes along, he's an action star.
The second one's definitely action.
John McClane, okay, sure, whatever.
Yeah, he's action. For sure he's.
But there are more of other people.
Oh, I know, but it's very common for Johns.
I think you're following to the human thing of pattern recognition.
Yeah.
You're seeing
also, like, everybody's named John.
John is the most used to be the most common white person name in North America.
I believe that.
That is why John Smith is the generic term for
Right.
a white guy in North America.
Mm-hmm. So I think our listeners should do some research into the Johns of action and come back with some feedback for us, therustedrobot@gmail.com, and tell us about all the Johns in the action movies. How many Schwarzenegger characters are named John? I can't think of any offhand, but there might be one.
Sure, but he's been in a lot of movies, so we'd have to break it down.
Hammer Time? No?
Your face
Hey!
is crazy red.
I
So,
know.
do we have any more trailers?
We do. We have one more trailer for The Joker.
Can you please stop bothering my kid?
Sorry.
Arthur, I have some bad news for you. This is the last time we'll be meeting.
You don't listen, do you? You just ask the same questions every week. How's your job? Are you having any negative thoughts? All I have are negative thoughts.
And finally, in a world where everyone thinks they can do my job, check out this guy.
When I was a little boy and told people I was going to be a comedian, everyone laughed at me. Well, no one's laughing now.
You can say that again, pal.
It's so awful, isn't it?
For my whole life, I didn't know if I even really existed. But I do. And people are starting to notice.
Think this is funny? Is this a joke to you?
Murray, one small thing.
Yeah.
When you bring me out, can you introduce me as Joker? Send in the clowns.
And isn't that an interesting trailer right there?
So, it looks fantastic.
It does. It looks like a psychological thriller?
It is definitely a psychological
Thriller.
Thank you.
Or a dramedy.
It's not a
Well,
drama.
not a dramedy. Like a drama thriller.
But this could have been easily just written as the comedian or the laugher or anything else.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't. Nothing about it screams, "I'm part of the Batman mythos."
No, it's very much not like that.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it. It's almost like the Halle Berry Catwoman.
Which is not a good comparison to be.
Well, like, you know, they're like, we'll take this character who's really popular right now, we'll make him a little bit different, give them a completely different backstory from the original, and not make it connected in any way to the rest of the world.
It's not part of the DCU.
Yeah.
Well, DCEU is practically dead.
Practically. This is just a separate story.
Doesn't it kind of feel like Halle Berry's Catwoman? Like the
no,
movie.
that was bad.
I think she's suggesting that the feel of the overall movie
is separate
as isolated from the Batman.
Yeah, like
universe.
in that it is completely
It is
isolated.
Joker
and
without
its
Batman.
Own,
It's a side story.
It's its own movie.
Yeah.
Also, he almost seems like the good guy. Like at some point during the trailer, he holds up a sign that says, "Everyone is a clown."
It's like he's
And
misunderstood.
then everybody else winds up also wearing the clown mask, and he's almost like leading a revolution. Like, have you seen, like, remember in Revenge of the Nerds, where they're just like, we're the ones who have been downtrodden, but there's more of us than there are of the popular wealthy people?
Mm-hmm.
It seems more like he's the good guy leading a revolution, where he's just like, we are not taking your crap anymore. And you're just gonna have to deal with that there's more of us than there are of you. But yeah, it seems more like he's leading a revolution. He's some kind of good guy somehow.
Which is not what we expect of the Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah, we it's like we need to be sympathetic towards his character. Because we haven't been before. Because he's always been the bad guy, but he doesn't seem like the bad guy here.
So, there's a lot of people who really... Okay, this is going to anger a lot of our, nerdy fans, because it's a nerdy podcast, and we're all nerds. We're all into this thing, and it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's just there's a lot of people who see themselves in the Joker, because they're just like, oh, me too, I'm an anarchist, I'm crazy, nothing can stop me, I'm out to do my own thing, I'm crazy. The Joker is just an unstable person who manages to coax people into being his minions for bank robberies.
Mm-hmm.
He has no powers.
He's in serious need of mental health
He's in
counseling.
serious need of mental health counseling. And if you are relating to the Joker and you want to start anarchy and rob a bank and dismember people for the fun of it, you should probably seek help. You shouldn't be like, I'm gonna be the Joker. I'm gonna be him. Look at me and my girlfriend and how absurdly ridiculous we are. Sometimes we kiss, sometimes we smash each other's heads in with baseball bats. But that's love. Hey. And it's like, that's That's not good or healthy. You shouldn't do that.
There were a lot.
I've
Don't
only
do
hit
that.
Katie once with a baseball bat.
No, he never has.
There were a lot of Harley Quinns at DragonCon.
Yes, because people like the weird abusive relationship and they think that's love and it's not.
Right.
Although that's the people who are the Harley Joker lovers. A lot of people like Harley on her own. When she's in her own comic, she is really quite hilarious.
Did not see a lot of Jokers. Did see a lot of Weird Owls.
Oh, that's fun.
And it's fun.
And a lot of Starfleet officers, of course. Not any Stormtroopers.
And then there's a lot of people who are Harley and Ivy fans.
I did see one Ivy, yes.
I don't know if you guys know this, but there is a new mini issue small print run of Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, the comic book. There's only going to be 2 issues of it.
Comic books?
Mm-hmm.
Comic books? Why are we talking about comic books?
Why? Why indeed? Could it be because I, Kitty Montigny, own Jump City in partner with my sister?
What?
Jump City is a comic book shop located at 38 Pine Street North, Timmins, Ontario, in the basement of the 101 Mall.
I was going to say, I've been there.
Have you?
I have.
You own a comic book shop.
Yeah, I'm that cool.
Holy crap.
Number 1 Macodity.
I don't know what that means.
It's
the Dr. Tran reference.
Yeah, he's old.
Okay. So anyway, you know about comic books because you own a comic book shop.
Yep.
Wow. Impressive.
You know what? That's the one thing in the last 2 episodes.
I know.
No random jump.
There was
random jump to what?
There was no obligatory plug of
Jump City or of Soulforge.
Oh my glory.
In the last 2 episodes. That's
are you
3
guys-
episodes because we missed 1 episode.
Are you guys cutting out my comic book news here?
No, we're not. We're waiting for you to get to the site that you needed to get on your phone.
I got it.
We're filling time and space like Doctor Who. Go ahead.
Okay, so Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, issue 1 just came out last Wednesday.
Nice.
The writer Jody Hauser has set the tone for a unique, in continuity look at the 2 women whose experiences in DC's Heroes in Crisis event bring more somber tone to what's usually a funny pairing. Although it does still look quite hilarious. On the cover of the first one, they are driving haphazardly through not a road on a very fancy car, and they look absurd. It's really crazy. Coming off her run with Young Animal's Mother Panic, which is another really cool comic that takes place in Gotham.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost a little bit cyberpunky.
These are all things you sell in your store?
Yeah.
Wow.
It still takes place in Gotham. She's like a separate...
Gotham is a weird town.
Yeah, it attracts a lot
It's
of...
1930s and 2030s mixed together.
Uh-huh. Hauser is taking on the popular villains after Heroes in Crisis, and Harley Quinn framed for murder and Poison Ivy dead. The later's resurrection has also left her with a human body, now composed of plant matter, and connected to Swamp Thing associated entity, the Green. I don't know exactly what that means. I'm going to have to read this comic. I'm waiting for the second one to come out so I can...
The Green is the source of all plant life on Earth, connected to the Swamp Thing, who became the conduit for the Green in the material world. That's what powers the Swamp Thing. And if she's now connected to it like the Swamp Thing, she had more control over plants.
She already had so much control over plants in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Now she'll have more. These are in the store, or the first one is?
Yeah, the first one's in already.
Very cool. So you recommend it?
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be fun. I really like the art style so far.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
It's very pretty.
And that's this week's Jump City comic book news?
Yeah.
That's awesome. You know what is coming out on November 15th?
I'm not sure what's coming out on November 15th.
Well.
World War III?
It might. I don't know. I can't see the future.
Better not.
But I do know that season 3 of The Toys That Made Us is coming out November 15th on Netflix.
Ooh, sweet. I enjoy that show.
It has 4 episodes.
Yeah, like the last season.
And the season before that.
Yeah.
You know what the 4 episodes are going to be this season 3?
No, I don't.
Well, let me tell you right now that the first episode is going to be Power Rangers.
Okay.
The second episode is going to be wrestling.
Okay.
The third will be My Little Pony.
Ooh!
And, of course, the fourth is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Ooh.
So
I like the last two a lot. Power Rangers are also quite fun.
Okay, so I was of the age where I watched the first season of Power Rangers.
Yeah.
But I never got into the toys.
I don't have any Power Ranger toys either.
I had a few wrestling toys, but I was not big into them.
My brother Robin,
Yeah.
he had quite a bit of wrestling. I had Macho Man. Those ones that were just all rubber.
Yeah, the solid rubber ones
Yeah.
where you can whip them at somebody and really hurt somebody with them.
Yeah, I had Macho Man.
I had
Robin had all the rest.
I had the Hawaiian guy, who I don't remember the name of.
Okay.
I had the Ultimate Warrior, which was a big get.
Yes.
And I had the guy in the solid black that was bald, and I don't remember who he was.
Bam Bam Bigelow.
I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't big into it.
I know my brother Curtis had Tito Santana. One Christmas, he got Tito Santana, who I didn't know who that was. I got Macho Man, and then Robin had a whole pile of maybe 20 or 30 other ones. But
that seems fair.
Yeah.
I like Macho Man.
Well, not all that Christmas, but over time. Because Curtis and I didn't really care.
Okay.
But
see, over time, that's fine.
Yes.
That Christmas, that's kind of a F you to the siblings.
Well, that Christmas, Robin wasn't born yet.
Well, we couldn't afford toys for the rest of you because we had to buy the whole series for your brothers. So better luck next year, kids.
That does sound like something that would happen in my family.
Oh my, that's not good.
They had an extra of these two, so I guess you guys can have these ones.
That's right. That's pretty accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
I thought you might.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, very good. That's I don't know. That's
the 1 year my brother got a G.I. Joe playset.
Yeah.
And a bunch of action figures.
Okay.
But it came with the one action figure.
Yes.
Right? So it already had that guy in there.
Okay.
But my mom got me that guy on my own.
Ah, okay.
Because, well, you know, you can play with your brother. And see, this guy goes with this set. Not realizing or just not caring that, yes, he already comes with the set.
Probably not caring or realizing.
Maybe. So my brother got 8 action figures plus a play set, and I got 1 action figure.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But you're not bitter 30 years later. That's good.
My parents used to buy... okay, so there's 4 children in my family.
3 girls, 1 boy. Boy's the youngest.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Go on.
we each had a favorite Ninja Turtle, and they were all different.
Oh, nice.
Which was kind of cool.
That's convenient.
Every time that a new Ninja Turtle set came out, because remember, each time they released them, they had a different turtle of each one.
Yes.
So I had almost all the Donatellos. We skipped some because they just weren't as good as the other ones.
Sure, yeah.
But I had all the Donatellos. My younger sister Julie had all of the Leonardos. My older sister Melanie had all of the Michelangelos, and our younger brother had all of the Raphaels.
Very cool.
And then every year we all got My Little Ponies.
Including your brother?
No, for Christmas, and he got action figures because he didn't really like ponies that much.
Well, during DragonCon, there was a parade on Saturday, and on one of the floats, there were people dressed up as the Ninja Turtles, and they were singing, and the costumes were epic.
Did they sing the Ninja Rap?
I can't remember now.
Aww.
I think they were just singing regular songs.
Aw, they should have sang Vanilla Ice.
You gotta sing the Ninja Rap.
Well, yeah, probably they did at one point, but I didn't stay for the whole parade. So.
Yeah, but as a parade, they are going by, so they can just keep singing the same song over and over
Weren't
again.
there...
Particularly the Ninja Rap, which is a very repetitive song.
And it's also really long.
Yeah, so, like, you can go a long time and just start over from the beginning.
And Vanilla wrote 2 Ninja Turtle songs. Yes. One for the first movie, one for the second. He was their rapper.
I do not remember his song in the first one.
It came at the end of the movie.
So it was in the end credits?
It plays in the movie, but it's not part of the movie. Like, it's not featured. And then in the second movie, he's on stage singing, so it's part of the movie, and all the turtles dance to the Ninja Turtle rap.
Yeah.
Which is so good. And they do it well. There's that fight going on between Toka and Razor and all of the ninjas.
Yes, good times.
Yeah.
Good memories. So, next week, you're going to go shoot guns.
No, I am going hunting.
That's what I said.
No, that is different.
Oh.
Because we also go out shooting where you don't come back with anything that used to be alive.
That is the sport of shooting.
Yes.
I am going out hunting, which is a different task. In fact, most of the time I am not shooting my gun. I have gone, last year I went a whole day without shooting my gun.
A whole day?
I didn't see a single thing to shoot.
Yes, you did. But a fox took it. You didn't shoot it. He got ready. He was like, there is a thing to shoot. And a fox ran over, killed it. And he's like, you win this round, fox.
Josh was robbed. So that's what you're doing this weekend coming up.
Yeah. So I will probably gone unless we record on Friday.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Or I'll just record with Robin. Or we'll record early, depending on your prep time and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'll be off.
And then...
You can come see Katie.
Thanks for asking.
Oh, you'll be off next week?
Yeah.
Katie works tomorrow at Jump City at 30 Pine Street, North Timmins, Ontario, Canada.
Come visit me, guys.
Very cool.
In the past, because this gets uploaded on Sunday.
Yeah, it does. So, next weekend, you're hunting.
I am.
When will you be back?
So, I will be gone for 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Okay, so we'll have a couple of Robin episodes.
Because I will be gone the Saturday through the whole week.
Yeah.
Saturday, and I'll be back on the Sunday.
Okay.
Unless you want to come and record it with me in the middle of the woods.
That might be exciting. I could give you some pop culture news, because you'll have been in...
Yes, you can tell me what happened on the Area 51 raid.
Oh, that's coming up,
Oh
right?
my god, yeah!
That's
The
the
Naruto
21st.
run!
Right.
First and possibly last
So
annual Naruto run for Area 51.
Maybe we'll do that. I'm not 100% sure. And then the last weekend of this month is NerdCon in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, where Robin and I are going. So there might not be an episode that week.
Well, you can obviously record an episode on the way there or on the way back.
You're not going to have a creepy, weird road report?
Can't do it.
Why not?
Because my car has too much road noise, and it'll get all messed up. I've tried. It's horrible. It's awful.
You could just yell and make like
you
weird
can
helicopter
stop
noises.
on the way back, grab something to eat, sit in the car, eat, and record an episode.
That is a possibility. We will see what happens.
Although people don't like the sounds of eating on podcasts.
Or you can go, go to the thing. Are you staying the night after the thing, or are you heading home right away?
Well, we're leaving Friday after work.
The
thing is Saturday, and then we're leaving Sunday.
So you can record on Sunday.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Takes an hour to
Or
record,
even
Shawn.
Saturday night.
I don't know.
It's all right for fighting.
Saturday night is all right for fighting.
So get a little action in.
I think I just might do that. We'll see what happens. You know, that's what happens when you go back to your hometown, your old stomping grounds. Oh boy. And that is where we will end this podcast.
No, that is not where we're ending this episode, Shawn.
Is there more to go?
There is more.
What do we have?
We have my hypothetical from a month ago.
You know, it's always been 2 months. Because the recording has been all messed up.
It has, but it's supposed to be every month now. So my hypothetical, to remind you, was you can go back in time to a single time event.
Yes.
No coming back.
No coming back.
Where do you go? Why? What do you do to prep?
That's right. So I thought about this quite a bit, and I have 2 possible answers.
Okay.
So my first one is that I would spend the month prepping and learning all kinds of native languages, and then I would go back in time to the 1470s, and I would teach the Native Americans how to defend themselves against the Spanish and change all of world history.
Okay,
so that was one idea.
The main problem with that is not the actual Spanish. The main problem with that was the discovery and then the subsequent plagues that went through.
Yeah, I would learn how to make smallpox vaccinations before I left, too.
Out of almost nothing?
From rudimentary materials in 1470 North America.
I think your plan has some flaws there, Shawn.
Oh, it probably does, because I never researched any of that stuff.
Vaccines are incredibly difficult to make. You need the ability to replicate inert versions of the virus to use as a vaccine.
You need a way to keep it cold.
You need to find a way to manufacture that, which requires significant advanced biology and chemistry.
So then I would go back to the year 1000, introduce smallpox, and make sure that over the next 500 years they had immunization.
I don't think they got proper immunities. I think it just everybody who had it died and people avoided them and didn't
So
get it.
while smallpox was a particularly bad disease that affected the Native Americans and all the Aboriginal people of North America and South America, it wasn't the only one that...
I know, there was more. I would do more research. This is just a hypothetical. I didn't look into it that deeply.
Building vaccines is not a perpetual thing, and then otherwise you're just suggesting that you're going to release mass biological plagues on North America and South America, which is contrary to what you want to do, is to help the people.
Okay.
Instead, you're suggesting, I'm just going to wipe out massive populations committing genocide.
So they have
So
time-
Shawn wants to be a tyrant and terrible person.
I want
Katie, what would you do?
That's only my first one. My second one is I'm going to go back 3 months before I'm born and make sure my parents have Apple stocks and stuff so that we could be rich and my entire timeline could be different.
And then what would you do, Shawn?
I would shepherd it because I'd have the knowledge of the future so I could make sure that they made the right choices.
So the problem with that, Shawn, is the moment you start making decisions like buying stocks, that changes who bought the stocks and how many of the stocks, which changes choices and parameters.
Yes.
And you're going to shepherd these decisions along the way.
So that me as a baby has a nice life and can have
Now
all kinds of...
To be honest, your best bet would be to go back, get your parents to buy these stocks, and then immediately commit suicide in such a way that your body is destroyed.
Yeah, that might work too.
Because otherwise, you will affect the timeline, changing what the value of the stocks would be.
Right, true enough.
Katie, where would you go? When would you go? What would you do? What would you do to prepare?
Okay, well, I have a lot of physical issues, so I wouldn't want to go back to any point. Well, I wouldn't want to go back to most points at all in history anywhere because I wouldn't be able to survive a lot of it. I have a cruddy immune system. Though I am a good runner, I'd rather not have to run because my bones don't work great, like good shelter and stuff. So I wouldn't want to be anywhere where medicine isn't
readily available?
Like even up to like the 80s standard. So, my idea was actually similar to what your second idea was, but I wouldn't go back to like before I was born or even when I was very little because affecting how I grew up would affect my decisions later on in life. I would go back to like not more than like a couple years before where we are now.
But I think we had to go back before our timeline, didn't we? Isn't that what you said?
I don't think that was a stipulation. You said if we could go back to any point in history.
Prior to us. Yeah, it's a stipulation.
It has to be prior to us?
Yeah.
No, not going. Future or nothing, baby.
And what do you got, Josh?
So, I thought hard about this. And there were different options. I thought about trying to manipulate the timeline so that I can come out of it rich. That's not going to work out because then I won't be married to Katie, maybe. I might be married to a gold digger and I'd have to deal with that crap.
I could be a gold digger.
I bet you'd be a very good gold digger.
I'd be a very good gold digger.
You would be a fantastic gold digger.
Yeah, look at my trench.
If you were digging actual gold.
If I was actually digging for
You would be a terrible gold digger. You would be a terrible thought.
So where would you go?
So then I thought, okay, well, maybe I want to go back and try to like make humanity better, right? Go back to a point in time, like kind of like you, go back to a point,
and not commit genocide.
And alter it so genocide doesn't occur, or society is better, or something of that line. Prevent the fall of Rome, but then the repercussions of that, we don't get the Dark Ages, but that doesn't change other factors. And
exactly.
Like we don't get the Renaissance that we did in the Arab world at that time after the fall of Rome. Mm-hmm. And then you got Imperial Rome for a long time.
So many options.
That's pretty bad. And I was like, okay, the only choice then is to grab all the knowledge I can about primitive hunting techniques, go back, and hunt for dinosaurs.
Okay.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool.
Go back far enough that the changes that I make will, in the aggregate, be so small that they won't affect society too far. Because if you go back far enough, the minute fluctuations caused by a single individual shouldn't affect overall trends.
Right.
So it will change human society later, but I'll be so far back in time that I'm hunting T-Rex with a bow and arrow that I made myself.
You probably should use something a little bit better than a regular bow and arrow, like an Adelat or something.
No, bow and arrow is pretty good. Like if I study up on the techniques of hunting techniques and building primitive technology up, I can find copper. I can find the things I need to make primitive weapons pretty effectively.
What about that weird old, like that Mongolian bow? That one that fires like four arrows, like accurately? Because once you get your bearing with the first one, you can rest it against your cheek and then fire multiple.
Oh, the Jorg Spraven bow from the Slingshot channel on YouTube?
I think that one's neat.
That thing's pretty awesome. I gotta admit, that's pretty cool. And that is something I'd probably incorporate.
Also, it just looks like fun.
Yeah.
Like, because you're going to be there alone for a long time.
Oh yeah, I'm going to spend the rest of my life, which is probably only going to be like 3 years.
Yeah, you're going to die.
3 days.
I can survive more than 3 days hunting. Okay. Like primitive hunting, I can do a bow. I can hunt like that.
No. I mean, like something's going to eat you while you're sleeping.
Well, no, you gotta know what you're doing.
I do know what I'm doing. I just don't know anything about dinosaur behavior.
It's fine. I'll hunt the dinosaurs.
It'll all work out.
And be hunted by the dinosaurs.
That's part of the game.
It's part of the game.
It's exciting.
And I might only last like 6 days. I might last a few years. Who knows? But I will have hunted Tyrannosaurus.
And what's cooler than that?
Yeah. Now,
having people know that you've hunted Tyrannosaurus?
And the great thing is, going back so far, the viruses won't be able to infect me easily.
Because they're
I'm something completely brand new that they have no idea how to infect. So I'll be relatively safe from common infection diseases.
True. Very good thinking.
And then, Josh, dinosaur hunter.
And you'll be in the fossil record.
Yeah, and then I will completely screw up I'll try to die in some way that I will get myself to be fossilized.
That's
what mess up evolutionary biology for thousands of years. I'm like, well, this human died in the middle of the 65 million years ago. But...
Also, you should be nowhere where humans were at the time.
Well,
where humans were found eventually, the earliest
human.
Yeah.
I'll die somewhere in North America hunting dinosaurs 106 million years ago.
That'd be awesome. Very good.
Probably not then, actually. That'd be bad. I'd be drowning. I'd pick a better date.
You'd pick a better date.
That's the time of the inland sea. Probably go back a bit further.
You'd have a month to research where you'd go and all.
Oh yeah, I'd pick the exact spot.
You'd figure it out. It'd be awesome.
Anyway, did you want to hear my hypothetical before I realized that you...
Katie has a hypothetical? Okay.
Well, no, before...
Your answer?
My answer before I realized...
Do it. Say it.
It's supposed to be before...
Let's go, let's wrap this up. Tell us your answer. Quick!
I'd just find out the lotto numbers, go back like a couple years, make sure that I win the lotto a couple of times, and then I would help out us secretly. Like, I would remain separate from the rest of us, and then eventually I would befriend us and be like an extra me, because I would love to have an extra me around.
So, I thought about that. To do that, to minimize the effects of the butterfly effect, I thought, okay, if I put myself in an induced coma for 6 months with the knowledge that I'm eventually going to go back in time, or for a month, for 3 weeks, because I gave us a month to prepare, for 3 weeks, and I'm like, okay, at the end of it, there's going to be a card here with the numbers written of the lotto numbers coming up. Play those numbers and then go back into your coma until the numbers win. Because then you can go forward, figure out what the numbers are, go back in time, write the card, and kill yourself instantly in such a way that you remove your body.
No, I would intend to stay alive and be like an extra of me, because I would be super helpful to have another me around in the same timeline.
You would be.
Yes.
You would be. But I thought about illuminating the chances that I will change the future. And doing that, you would have to try to minimize your effect on reality.
But if it was only a couple years ago, our future wouldn't be far off. Those changes wouldn't be...
Yeah, but how far ahead is the lotto that you're getting the numbers for?
I don't know. There was a lotto a couple months ago.
Yeah, but picking the optimum number is the problem. And then that can be changed by simple things like air pressure.
Okay, but the thing is, I think having another me around would be more valuable than having a lotto number that wins.
To be perfectly honest, having another you around would be fantastic.
It would be. I'd get to sleep a lot more.
But that's a different podcast that we don't talk about, because this is a family show.
Well, I'd be like an extra
I wasn't even thinking along those lines, but thank you, Shawn, for putting that image in my head.
My pleasure.
But
and yours too.
I could work another job without taking away from my current job. I could be a better mom doing extra. I'd have time and energy for housework and mothering.
There you
Not
go.
if you take on a second job.
Well, I could just quit it whenever I want. I don't eat that much. I don't eat very much at all, actually.
A second Katie, trading off the primary Katie and the secondary Katie as housekeeper / housewife / working Katie. Just trade it off. You have to work half the time, and then you can just take care of the house, and it'd be better that way.
I could totally do that. But I could also take on like a weekend 5-hour-a-week job because it makes so much more than I do at my own job.
There you go.
Eventually my job will be excellent. It will be an empire.
Cool.
But for now, I'd make more making minimum wage for one weekend, 5 hours a day.
Well, this has been an extra-sized, super-duper helping of the Rusted Robot podcast.
You missed out on us for the last 2 weeks.
I did.
So...
We had to make up for it.
Yeah.
It's very cool. I'm glad we got to do this.
Also, the 1 hour time constraint is an artificial constraint that we place upon ourselves.
It is.
Plus, the extra time is all me talking, and that's what the viewers come for.
So I'll cut that out? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, sure, you can
The
cut
listeners.
it out.
We don't have viewers.
Oh.
We have listeners.
I'm pretty sure they'd want to look at me.
Also, like, we have a YouTube thing,
Yeah,
but...
that's right.
But it's not very interesting, Shawn.
It's not. I know.
It's like... It's the podcast, which is very interesting on its own, but as a visual medium of YouTube, it's a static image.
It is. It's just the...
We got to
episode
do
art.
something about that.
I know. We got to think long and hard and deep about this. Puppets, yeah.
Reenact the entire episode with hand puppets, Shawn. That's what you need to do.
I want to be a sock.
Right.
Katie's going to be a sock. I want to be a tiny hippopotamus.
I will endeavor to do my best.
You can put your brother on it.
Perfect.
Yeah, because like when the three of us are on, you'll need 3 hands on at the same time.
Right.
So your brother can be Katie.
Perfect.
Oh, no!
You want Shawn to be you? Is him or his brother?
I could just be a sock on the table.
Just a static sock you'll turn.
I'm telling you right now, you do not want to be my brother's sock. And on that note, I would like to thank our listeners for coming by and listening to the Rusted Robot podcast for September the 8th, 2019. Happy 53rd birthday to Star Trek, which came out September 8th, 1966 on NBC.
Happy birthday, Star Trek.
I'm sorry we ruined you recently.
And until next time...
Sure, we didn't do
Discovery,
that. Wasn't us.
Discovery is awesome. Thanks for coming by. No, I was going to say the Forge, but no, the Rusted Robot headquarters. Check out Soul Forge. Check out the ESO Network. Check out Jump City Comic Books if you're...
The ESO Network.
What did I say?
The SO Network. You're not driving home for another hour, Shawn.
Clearly. And until next time, remember, side effects of being friends with us include gaining extensive knowledge of TV shows you don't watch or care about. You have been listening to the Rusted Robot Podcast. To contact the show, email therustedrobot@gmail.com or tweet us at therustedrobot. Join the Facebook page and group and visit the website at therustedrobot.podbean.com. The Rusted Robot Podcast was put together by Shawn and Josh and the Rusty crew. Please remember to check out our other show, the Soul Forge Podcast. Visit Jump City Comics in the 101 Mall and leave a glowing review in your chosen podcast app. Thank you, and have a geeky day.
The Rusted Robot Podcast. Think about it.
If you are loving this podcast, you should tell a friend about it.
Spread the word about podcasts you think they would enjoy. There's something for everyone, from entertainment and lifestyle
To news and politics
and more. Share it on social media. Believe it or not, some people don't know how great podcasts are,
or even how to find and listen to them.
You can help change that with a click. Tell your friends about your favorite podcast.
Thanks for spreading the word.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping through Amazon.com or the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.